And Soz, we got to start with Carvana because Carvana riding higher after the company reached a deal with bondholders, reducing its debt by over $1.2 billion, eliminating over 83% of the company's 2025 and 2027 unsecured note maturities. This is a stock that has massively run up since the start of the year. In recent months, we're talking about gains of over 1,000% at the highs.
I've always had mixed emotions with Carvana. So I've bought 3 cars from Carvana. The customer experience,
really?
Yes, it's pretty darn good. Once you get over that fear of like, wow, I've just signed all these papers using DocuSign and they're very scary, the thing actually works pretty good. But then raw numbers, this company is constantly being attacked by various news outfits. You have analysts questioning the model. Maybe this alleviates some of that bottom line pressure that they've been dealing with really since their inception. It certainly doesn't hurt, and that's why the stock is ripping higher. And we're looking at shares of Constellation Brands closing the day higher as the Corona and Modelo beer maker revealed a settlement with one of its top holders and noted activist investor Elliott Management. Elliott Senior Portfolio Manager Mark Steinberg and Portfolio Manager Michael Goldberg said in a statement, "We are among Constellation's largest investors because we believe the company's meaningful growth potential powered by its premier Mexican beer portfolio is not currently reflecting the company's stock price and represents a significant amount of value that can be created from here." Bottom line, you see this brand or this company, Constellation Brands, run by CEO Bill Newlands, friend of our programming, really not getting, I think, the love that it deserves. You know, they've had a lot of troubles with their wine business. Their beer business, Corona and Modelo, have been on fire. And most notably, and I have a story on this on the Yahoo Finance homepage now, that business, Corona Light, has picked up market share because of everything going on with Bud Light. So I see what Elliott's talking about here.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when analysts look at this name, even when they look at one of the competitors out there like a Molson Coors, who has been able to kind of chip away at that market share that Bud Light has lost within the beer category, whether or not those new customers, drinkers, are going to stick with their brands or if they're going to trade back to Bud Light. And it almost seems like the line of thinking here from analysts is that they think that a name like Constellation Brands is going to be able to hold on to those new customers because people don't seem to be going back to Bud Light at the rate that we had initially, or the street had initially expected here when we did see that.
And I want to publicly thank you, Shawna Smith, because you were the one that told me to put lime in my Bud. Lemon. And it's
Bud Light.
And it's good. I encourage you to give it a try. Maybe we're looking at these awful results from Goldman.
That was my college drink. And I still, to this day, here and there, we'll try it. But it is the best. Bud Light with a lemon. All right, we also got to take a look at Goldman Sachs. The stock closing up just about 1% as the Wall Street giant saw profits plunge during the second quarter. The company also struggling with its core businesses of deal-making, trading, while taking nearly $1 billion in impairment charges on consumer and commercial real estate holdings. Despite all of that, Soz, we're still looking at gains of just about 1%. And like we heard from Mike Mayo, it was a kind of, seems like an almost buy the news type of mentality that's happening today because we did see a heck of a lot of selling heading into this report.
You're stuck with me for about another hour, Sean. I'm sorry.
I like it.
No, well, look, everything that Mike Mayo said, really, the top analyst still in banking, he is the OG, he is the proving ground. So when Mike Mayo comes on Yahoo Finance and says, essentially, the clock is ticking on David Solomon, Mike Mayo knows everybody. And I think these results, while the stock is getting embraced, maybe they weren't as bad as some feared, the clock is ticking on David Solomon. And the question now, does he survive into 2024? Right now is when budgets and plans start to take effect for next year. Does he survive it?
Yeah, certainly. The pressure is on for him to really right that ship and do it quickly.